There you go. So, recording in progress. Welcome, everybody. I literally just landed about an hour ago into Arizona and just got home not too long ago. Was super excited about this Zoom because this Zoom right here is going to make a major difference in all of your businesses. I did this training many times before, but I think, sometimes people don't understand the flow of a presentation or what needs to happen. So I'm going to share it with all of you today. And if your team is not on, I would text them. Yes, they can watch the recording, but it's so much better live, just so you guys know. So we're going to go through this information together. Hopefully you have a notepad and pen, and we're going to cover this information because there is a psychology to presentations. And the thing that I want to teach all of you, a long time ago, my very first mentor was Mark Aceta's mentor. And the one thing that he said that I'll never forget is that if you learn how to present, you'll never go broke a day in your life. If you learn how to present, you'll never go broke a day in your life. So what I did is I got great at presenting and learned the psychology behind a presentation. And I remember learning a long time ago that there's 7 steps to a presentation. And the one thing I want you guys to know, and this is something we've done before. So I'm going to do 2 things. One, I'm going to take you through what the 7 steps are. Then I'm going to go through our PowerPoint and show you the psychology behind the presentation and why it's going to get people to say yes. Like why you're going to have a high closing ratio. Like I really hope some of you are going, holy crap, I had no idea that's what it was going to be. I better text people to get them on this thing. So we are going to start this right now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to share my screen, go right to here, go here, and go here. And we're going to quickly, before I get to the actual PowerPoint, hold on a second. Sorry, see, this is why participants, where are we? Admit all. There are people in the waiting room. Sorry, guys. For those of y'all that were waiting, I apologize. Hannah, are you in where you can manage and admit people while I go through the call? Hannah?
I am not, but I can figure it out.
If you could log in through that and be, or you know what? Let me see if I could just make you, Hannah, I'm just gonna make you a co-host.
Okay.
All right, if you can just help me, because there's constant, and I've been talking this whole time and I didn't realize that there were people waiting. So I apologize for those of you guys that were in the waiting room. We're gonna continuously let everybody on. So let me go through again, because I know we're recording, but I want to let you guys know there's 2 parts to this. Number one is I started out talking about how my very first mentor told me that if you learn how to present, by the way, if everybody could mute, I don't, hold on. My first mentor told me that if you learn how to present, you'll never go broke a day in your life, like never. And I sit back and think about what I got good at, like I look at the fact that for those of you guys that were at boot camp and you saw Jay Peso go on stage and rock it and kill it. And what he got good at was learning how to box. What he got good at was learning how to dodge a punch, right? Like if you can make sure people don't hit you, you can live long enough to fight another day, right? Like it's just what it is. But in boxing, you can't just avoid punches, you got to throw punches. And so you got to get good at it. So when it comes to our business, it can't just be about, hoping to send a video or hoping to do something and not getting somebody to come back and say something. However, there's videos in place, but I want all of you to get good at live presentations. Live presentations for some people is scary, but if I walk you through the 7 steps and then I show you the actual PowerPoint presentation and how it matches the 7 steps, and you get good at this, you're going to get good at this business like Jay Peso got good at boxing. And then he took what he did to get good at boxing and put it into this business and practiced it over and over and over again. That's why he's a knighted trainer. That's why he's a blue diamond. You know, and you take anybody that's on this Zoom that has created success, they've gotten good at presenting. So I'm going to start out and go through this. Go to my shared screen. Hold on. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see. If you guys can see my hand, we are good to go. So here it is. There's 7 steps to presenting. 7 steps. Okay. Now, the purpose of doing a presentation is what? The obvious, right? You either want to have somebody be your business partner. That's the #1 goal, right? Everybody wants another business partner in their business, or they want a customer, right? Like those are the 2 things that we all want. Bottom line, worst case scenario, what you want is you want a referral. Like that's the worst case scenario from doing a presentation. Now, how do you have a high closing ratio? Please write this down. If you can get 7 minor agreements inside of a presentation, don't ask me, like there's a lot of psychology behind this on how the brain works. And I'm not going to get into that right now, but yes, you'll see the number 7 pop up everywhere. And it works for me because it's one of my favorite numbers. I was born on the 7, like 7 pops up everywhere. It's absolutely nuts. When I was at a wedding this weekend for Dr. Bassan's daughter, I was sitting at the table in seat number 7. Like I can't even make this stuff up. Like it's like I took a picture of it. The point is that there's 7 steps to a presentation. #1 is your story. Your story, ladies and gentlemen, is this is yours. So put down put down my story. So this is for the presenter, the person that is presenting. Why are you telling your story? For a couple of reasons. #1, you've got to get the audience to connect with you. Somebody is unmuted. If you could mute your phone, please. #1, you've got to get the audience to connect with you. Okay. People will do business with people that they like and trust. If they like you and trust you, they will do business with you. But how do you get people to connect with you? How do you get people to like you and trust you? Is you've got to get them to say, me too. How do you get them to say, me too? Is you tell your story and share why you're doing this business, right? There's so many times where there have been conversations, trainings, everything. And what they talk about is you want to start with the why. And a lot of times people want to start with the what, like what it is, and then how you do it, and then why. Start with the why, then the how, then the what. And it's different for most people, but that is what creates the most success. Get people connected to your why. It's all in your story, why you're doing the business, right? So you tell your story. And the thing is that if you are, Hannah, are you catching the people that are coming in? Because I keep seeing people in the waiting room. Thank you.
Yep, I'm bringing them all in.
Thank you so much. So what happens is that what I would do is when I'm telling my story, if I'm somebody on this Zoom right now and you have like some unique degree, right? Like if you are an aeronautic specialized engineer, you know, that was your degree in aeronautics specialty engineering, whatever. I don't even know if that's a degree. The point is that is not going to get the majority of your audience, whether it's a big presentation or even a one-on-one. Chances are your specific degree is not going to get somebody to go, hey, me too. But if you tell people, listen, I grew up and I was told that if I go to school, the better I do in school, the better I'll do in life. Most people will go, hey, me too. They may not say those words, me too, but that's what they're thinking. Me too, right? Or maybe they'll say those words, me too. And if you say, you know, after I came out of, you know, high school or university, I went looking for a job and I had a hard time finding a job. Some people are going to go, oh my gosh, me too. I've had a hard time finding a job, right? Now, what you're trying to get is 7 minor agreements. A lot of times when you tell your story, if you do it right, you should be able to get a minimum of 2 to 5 agreements from people going, yeah, me too. And when I found myself in a career, I found myself overworked and underpaid. And you will hear people go, oh my gosh, me too. I like this person. Write this down. People like people that are like them. People like people that are like them. Right? So this is such a big part of the business, because if they like you and they trust you, they'll do business with you. If they like you and they trust you, they'll do business with you. If they feel like, hey, that person's just like me. If they go, oh my God, that person is a specialized ligament surgeon. Whoa. I don't know if I could do this business because I'm not as smart as them. That's why you look at Troy Brown. When Troy does his presentation, a lot of times he doesn't even talk about the fact that he was, an anesthesiologist, because that's like, people go, oh my God, like this dude's an anesthesiologist. Troy goes into, hey, golly, gosh, gee, I'm just like you. I'm just a regular guy that went to work and created success. It's not about lying, because he really does. Now, he's an intelligent individual, but he's really smart when he does the presentation to get people to relate to him. So anyways, number 1 is your story, right? Number two is the company. Right? Number 2 is the company. And when you talk about the company, it's all about showing credibility. Right? So when people are listening to you, they're going, hey, I like this person. Hey, they're just like me. And then you go into the company and they're going, wow, that's a credible company that this person that I like, that's just like me, is telling me about. Then number 3, you go into the product. Now for us, we have a service and a product. So when I say product, it is both. There's a service and products, right? And I'm going to show you based on the PowerPoint how it works, right? And people are going to go, oh my gosh, the service is unbelievable. I love what they're showing me from a credible company, from a man or woman that's just like me, that I like. And then you go into compensation. And they're going to go, wow, it's simple. I can make money marketing this service and products from a credible company that this person that I like, who's just like me, is telling me about. Right? That's compensation. It's simple. Right? The simpler it is, the more people believe they can do it. There are 3 things people want to know. Is it simple? Does it work? And can I do it? Right? Basically, they want to know, is it going to work for me? Right? So we want to keep it simple. You're going to see that tonight. Right? Number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Number 5, a lot of times, is testimonials. Testimonials allows them to hear other people that are similar, that have a similar why, that got started, that created success, and they'll see different backgrounds. The reason you want testimonials is so they see and hear other people for multiple reasons. Number 1, they know that it's working for so many people. Number 2, it's going to make them think, oh my gosh, Trish was an accountant. I know an accountant. My friend's an accountant. Oh my gosh. Jesse was a hip hop dancer. My friend does hip hop dancing, or wow, this person lives in North Carolina. I got friends in North Carolina. Wow, this person, like, there's so many things that testimonials do. Wow, this is a married couple. I was listening to a guy that's single, but there's a married couple doing this. I'm married. My friends are married. Or that's a married guy or a married lady doing this. There's a single person. Wow, I'm single. My friends are single. Like, testimonials do so much. Okay. Number 6 is you want to show them that there's training. So they know that there is a system here that will teach them and train them on how to do this. And number 7 is the close and getting started. These are the 7 steps, ladies and gentlemen. These are the 7 steps to a presentation. Now, a lot of times what I try to do is get 7 minor agreements right through product, like here. My goal is to try to have 10, 15, 20 minor agreements in my presentation, because the more they're agreeing with me, the more they're going to be in business with me. So tomorrow night, you're going to see me do this live because I'm doing the Discover Secret presentation tomorrow evening. Henna, if you have the flyer, if you could put the flyer in the chat box so everybody has it, please, that would be really helpful.
Sure.
What I want you guys to know is that I'm going to show you the presentation that I'm going to do tomorrow evening that's going to go through these 7 steps. I'm going to start with my why. I want people to connect with me, like me, trust me, right? Then I'm going to talk about company. So I'm going to let me show it to you live. So you guys just saw these 7 steps, right? Your story, the company, the product, which is our service and products, compensation, testimonial, training, close, and getting started, right? So let me show you how this works as I go to the presentation, right? So this right here is, where are we at? Okay, hold on a second. Let me, there we go. Minus this out. Give me 1 second. Make this big. Okay. Screen share. Number 2. All right, so check it out. All right, so everybody can see my screen, right? So now we start off here. This is where, when Club Secret, the good life is up. By the way, please write this down. What makes a great presentation? Everybody says, what makes a great presentation? A lot of times you think it's the presenter. Let me tell you right now, if you're doing a presentation in front of a group of people, what makes a presentation great is not the presenter. What makes the presentation great is the existing agents that are sitting in the presentation, that are giving energy to the presenter. But what happens is, a lot of times you become friends with the presenter, and when the presentation's happening, you're not laughing at the jokes anymore because the jokes are the same. Your presenter is not supposed to be a comedian. They're gonna, like, they don't sit at home and write jokes. Like, that's not what we do. The fact is that we may have a few jokes. We may have gotten some jokes from each other, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good joke. I'm gonna use the joke. What you have to do, being an existing agent in the audience, is you gotta learn how to be in game time. Like, when I sat in presentations, man, we did live presentations out of an office 9 to 10 times a week. The demonstrations were the same. The jokes were the same. The difference was, the reason I created so much success, because when I was sitting in the presentation, it was game time. Or like on a Zoom. Let me tell you something right now. When I do a presentation on a Zoom and people got their camera on and they're doing this on camera, they're on their phone. Why have your camera on? Why are you putting your camera on for other people to see you, for my guests to see you not pay attention, you're hurting the presentation. For you to be sitting there, look at my, I hope you guys are all looking at my little square on this Zoom right now. If somebody's presenting, and this is you, this right here, me, I'm coming. No, I'm just doing this. Like if that's what you're doing during an opportunity presentation, new people are watching you. Here's the nice thing, people do this. Oh, well, like, what are you doing? This is game time. The presentation is game time. That it's not just the presenter, it's the people that are existing agents sitting in the room. What you should be doing is you should show your pen and then do like this, even though they can't hear you because you're muted, just like Jay just did. Show your pen and then do this, right? Go, oh yeah. Man. When they tell a joke, learn how to laugh. You're on Zoom. Laugh anyways. If you're in a live presentation, gosh, learn to laugh to the same joke, but don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. If you're sitting in a presentation, I'm going to show you a joke that we have in the presentation. You have to learn how to laugh without overdoing it. Like when I tell a joke, and I'm going to show you in the presentation that when I get to the part where the lady has puffy eyes, then I say, hey, have you ever met people that have dark circles? My friend had dark circles, and they asked me if I could help get rid of it. And we helped them. Look what happened. And I show the panda slide where some of you have seen, where we have a panda with the dark circles and then a panda with no dark circles. And people laugh. However, some of you have seen it over and over again that you're immune to it. You don't laugh anymore. You need to laugh, even on Zoom, especially live, because you give your new person permission. You give them permission to enjoy the presentation. You give them permission to laugh. You give them permission to be present. I just want you guys to know, right? The thing is that don't overdo it. Don't unmute your phone on a Zoom presentation or in a live presentation when a joke is told and do this. Don't do that. Like, don't do that. Please don't do that. The point right now is that there is overdoing it, and then there's not doing it. You have to learn how to be in the game and do it right. If you are not going to be playing when we're presenting, do not have your camera on, for the love of God. And if you have your camera off, what picture do you have up? Like, what picture do you have up? As I'm telling you, we have a different world today. We got presentations on Zoom and we got live presentations, and I'm trying to teach you some of the things that need to happen in both worlds. Right? Like, people are going to judge you by your picture. People are going to judge you if you're sitting in a presentation live and somebody's doing the presentation. I bring my guests, and my guests are looking at other people that are supposed to be leaders or supposed to be whatever. They're going to size you up, guys. They're going to look at the way you're dressed, the way you're sitting. Are you taking notes? Are you sitting back? Are you sitting forward? Are you nodding your head? Are you not? Right? Like right now, guys, listen, and I'm not just pointing them out because we've created a great relationship, or he's a blue diamond, or he's a knighted trainer, but Jay could be doing his own training right now, but he's on here. And the fact that he's on here and taking notes and he's nodding, and you can see him front and center on here, right? When he's also a leader, right? It just, if you're on Jay's team, you're going, man, and he's doing it. If you're not on his team and you just saw him on stage and you're looking at his video, you're going, that was the dude on stage. He's nodding here. He's taking notes. What do you think a new person is doing when an opportunity presentation is happening, ladies and gentlemen? I'm telling you, some of you are hurting the closing ratio of the most phenomenal opportunity in the world by your activity that's verbal, nonverbal, conscious, subconscious. You're doing these things. And not only are you hurting your business, you're hurting somebody else's business. Like I've seen people in a presentation on Zoom that were lying in bed sleeping. Like listen to me. I've seen people at a live presentation falling asleep. Do you know what I do as the speaker? I'll sit there and go, excuse me, do you need some water? Like I'll do it, guys, because you ain't sleeping in my presentation. I don't want my guests to see even you as a guest, but let alone as an agent nodding. And don't you dare yawn in my presentation. I'm just telling you right now, what does yawn mean? That is boring. There ain't no way in the heck Club Seacret or what we're doing is boring. I got the best opportunity in the world. Listen, you have to learn, ladies and gentlemen, if you got a yawn and you're on Zoom and you can't control yourself, get rid of your video. But if you're on and people are watching you or you're in a presentation, I don't care if you're sitting in the back row, the front row, or whatever. If you have to yawn, I'm going to teach you my trick because it's human nature. It happens. Things happen to people, but don't do this. This is like I've seen people, I've seen leaders do it. I've seen agents do it. I've seen people do it. They do this. Like I'm not even joking. Like listen, some of you, if you've been around long enough and you're doing this, you've seen people do it. Like I've seen top money earners do it. Like I'm sitting there going, oh my God, like, did you seriously do it? Now, this is what I learned a long time ago. If it comes and I can't stop it and I have to yawn, I kid you not, this is my trick. We're going to see this probably at the View. Jay, we're going to see a whole bunch of people do my trick. Everybody's going to go, hey, you were on that training Muzafer did, right? This is what I do, no joke. If a yawn comes on and I'll go like this. And I'll blow my yawn into my hand like this. So it's gone and I'll go like this. Yeah, right? And people thought I was just warming up my hand because I'm excited about what's going on. No one knew I yawned. Nobody knew I yawned. Some of y'all think it's a joke. Like this is not a joke. This is what I do. Guys, I'm trying to teach y'all how to play this game at a level that nobody can touch us. If all of us are doing this thing and we are like solid, I'm telling you right now, we will be unstoppable. We've got to turn into this well-oiled machine that everybody around the country is doing a phenomenal presentation, where I know if I send my people to New York, or I send my people to North Carolina, or I send my people to Pittsburgh, or I send my people to Texas, or I send my people to Arizona, or I send my people to Vegas or Cali or Montana or Idaho or Canada or South America, that they're going to get a presentation that's going to go through the 7 steps. The presenter's going to try to connect with them. The presenter's going to tell them about how to, to be likable. And if they like and trust the presenter, my guests are going to go, wow, I like them. I like that person. I want my guests to get a phenomenal presentation no matter where they go. Now, let's go back to presenting. The art of becoming a good presenter is not being able to read the slide. The art in becoming a good presenter is transitions. It's transition from slide to slide. Where people become great presenters, it's because they got great at the transition, because you make it flow, seamless. You're not reading a presentation and breaking it up and going, okay, next slide. All right, let me look at this, right? Like that kills the energy of a presentation. What you want to do is get good at the transition. You start the transition before you click to the next slide. The transition starts when you're wrapping up a slide, then going to the next slide. There's this transition. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to give you some examples of transitions as I go into these slides. I'm hoping that this is helping all of y'all so far. I just covered part one, right? Part two, I'm going to go to the actual slides to show. I'm going to give you some transitions. Right now, use mine. Use my transitions, right? Like until you get good at doing your own transitions, right? Use mine. That's the purpose of this. You know, I kid you not, like one thing I love about Jesse is he's such a good student. When I first came to Seacret and I was doing the trainings, Jesse was front and center, taking notes. And then I had him speak. And then I was like, man, this kid is good, right? Like he's good. He's a great trainer, phenomenal, gets it. And one time we were doing a weekend training here at Seacret, and I had Jesse go up and then I was going to close the room, right? Like it was towards the end of the event. Jesse went up and did like his segment, and then he used one of my closes that he heard from a different training. And I was like, man, I was going to use that one. But what I loved about him was because he was a dance teacher, what he would do is that he would find the best moves and copy them. Then what he would do is he would get good at what he copied, then he would develop his own. It's what I did. It's what I did, guys, is I copied the people that I really liked. Like I copied Mark Cassetta, make no mistake about it. But then I created my own. There was a couple other trainers that I watched and I liked, and I was like, ooh, I like that. I like when that person does that. And I took it and I was like, I'm going to do this one, right? Like, it's funny when I told the story at the training about the frogs, you know, after I got off, Mark was just like, man, I haven't heard that story before, right? Like we all have things that we bring to the table, you know, and that to me is like, you know, a big, you know, compliment. Like I'm so grateful because he's like, that's the first time I heard that story, knowing that Mark Cassetta has heard so much out there over, you know, so many years, right? So I just want you guys to understand that you're gonna get better and better and better. All right, let me go through the slides and give you some transitions and help you with this, right? So here's what happens. As you guys look at this, and I'm gonna go back and forth. I got 3 screens. So I've got this screen that I'm staring at here. I've got a screen there, and then I've got a screen right there. So my screen right there is where I have the presentation. So if I'm looking over here, I'm gonna let you know. So the first one is this Club Seacret screen. So what you hear me say is, you'll hear me say, hey, listen, welcome. I know that a friend or a family member or a business partner, somebody invited you out tonight, and they were excited about showing you our company. And I'm going to do my best to share the information with you to show you why they were so excited. Now, what I said, maybe a friend, a family member, or a business partner, or somebody you met online, I also throw that one in there. Somebody you met online introduced you to this presentation. You know what happens? What did I tell you that we want? We want 7 minor agreements, right? Right there off the bat, I have put out a wide net. Most people sitting in the room, you either met on the internet, your family, your friends, or somehow related in business or work or what have you. I've got a majority of the room, over 80% of if it's a group presentation. So if I'm doing a group presentation, this is what I would say. Like you'll hear me say it tomorrow night on the Zoom. Hey, I just want to welcome you. My name is Muzafer. I know that a friend or a family member or a business partner, or maybe someone you met online introduced you to this presentation. They were excited. And I'm going to do my best to share the information with you to show you why they were so excited. As I told you, my name is Muzafer, and before I got started with this incredible company, now I want you guys to understand something. What you're going to hear from me a lot, is descriptive words. Descriptive words. You will hear me say, look how beautiful this mud is. You'll hear me say descriptive words. things like, I'm going to share with you this incredible company, not this company, this incredible company, right? You're right, Jennifer. You'll see my eyes dance when I talk about this business. And I show it by using descriptive words, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let me go back to my screen, right? And when I'm done telling my story and I tell my why, like right now, it's crazy. Like I could do anybody's story on here. I'd ask you a few questions, right? And I'll tell you right now, I could take your story and get people to like you and trust you. Like if I was Jay Peso and I sat there and say, hey, listen, welcome everybody. My name is Jay Peso. I know that a friend or a family member or a business partner or somebody you met online introduced you to Seacret tonight. And I'm going to do the best that I can to show you the information of this incredible company so you see why your friend was so excited. You know, before I got started, I grew up with a real humble beginning. You know, I was in a neighborhood where not a lot of people made a lot of money. And I found myself interacting with the wrong crowd. And one way out was boxing in my neighborhood. We saw some people create success. So I thought that was going to be my ticket out, because all the other things that I tried just didn't work for me. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you try to do different things to create success and they just didn't work. And you found yourself settling for something because you saw some other people that did it. That was me. You're going to have people go, oh my gosh, me too. I've tried different things. Oh my God, I've settled before. What is that? A minor agreement, a minor agreement. And I found myself going into boxing, trying to become a professional. I had some pretty good success, but the fact was that I kept getting hit. And I could only take so many hits in the face. What you're looking at today is consequences of all the hits, right? And some people are gonna laugh, right? Like, and now they're going, man, I like this dude because he didn't come out cocky going, oh, I'm a badass. You want to get in a fight with me, man? My hands are so quick, I will throw you down. Like, no one wants to do business with a guy like that. He's being humble, and people are going, nah, man, you are a good-looking dude, right? Like that, like now you've got people on your side immediately. And I would sit there and say, you know, and what happened is that and I can't remember, I think it was a friend of his, however it is, but a friend of mine introduced me to this business model years ago. And what I saw was somebody that had more success than me that was willing to teach me how to do it. And all I thought to myself is that if somebody will teach me, I'll be the best student they will ever find. Now, I ended up going to work, and I took my work ethic from boxing and I put it into this business. And I went from being financially broke and frustrated to creating an income I could live off of, to creating a 6-figure income, to making over 7 figures, traveling the world and providing a life for my son and my wife that I could only imagine. The reason why I do this business is so my son will never have to go through what I went through. The reason why I do this business is so my wife will never have to worry about a roof over her head. The reason why I do this business is to help other people that didn't have a way out, like me, to help them with a way to become successful. So let me show, right? So his why, his story, his what have you, connection, people like him, he was humble, right? There's minor agreements, all this stuff in the story, right? Just bam, right off the top of my head. I didn't have this thing scripted. I didn't even know if Jay was going to be on here, right? Why am I using him? Jay's giving some of the best energy out of everybody on here. So I'm going to go to the guy that's giving some of the best energy on my first screen that I can see, just so you all know, right? So now what happens is that that's number one, right? Number one is that now, remember I told you that there's transition. So when I get done telling my story, I would sit there and I would say, listen, the reason why you see the good life is so many people exist. They don't live anymore. They wake up at the same time. They eat breakfast at the same time, or skip breakfast or have coffee. They sit in rush hour traffic at the same time, get to work at the same time, complain about their boss at the same time, eat lunch at the same time, go home at the same time, sit in rush hour traffic at the same time, eat dinner at the same time, argue with their spouse at the same time. Just kidding. Go to bed at the same time, wake up and do it again. That's not living, that's existing. What I want to do is I want to show you the good life. This is a transition, ladies and gentlemen, that I do, right? And I say, now, some of the times in a group presentation, I will show this video that we have as a company, right? Now, then I go into, remember, number one was my story. Number two was the company. What is one of the most important parts of number two? Is credibility. So I talk about the fact that we're 20 years debt free, right? We've done over 3 billion in sales. I go into Isaac. What's happened? Here's our timeline. Timeline is credibility. History is credibility. Significant sales is credibility. I talk about L'Oreale. It's a $26 billion a year company. Credibility, right? I talk about what we've done and our timeline, and then I go to the next slide and I say, we're all about the good life. We're the lifestyle company. We want to help you look better, feel better, and experience the world. Let's talk about experiencing the world, right? What you have to understand is that now, today, right, the world is opening up and people are traveling. Imagine having the best discounts in the world. And you'll hear me emphasize words, right, on hotels, car rentals, flights, right? And I'll go through the booking portal. Then I'll give these examples. Now you're going to see this presentation is up on teamsynergyagents.com. And it says English presentation, July 15, 2022. What you're going to see is there's going to be, we're going to condense some of these slides to put them into one, to make the deck a little shorter, just so you guys know. That's what's coming next. Jesse and I are going through that. He's on a flight to Australia, but we show some examples. We're going to put some of these on one slide, right? Then we go to the escapes, right? And we talk about how the escapes work. You know, you guys know how to do this, right? Then we show some examples of the escapes, right? And people go, wow. So as I'm going through the escapes and I'm talking about what it is, when I get to here, I go, what you're about to see is some of the most incredible experiences in the world. And these aren't just discounted tickets, but there's VIP member only events included. So as you guys see how we've taken some of these and put them on one slide, we're going to do that with some of the other slides as well. But I give that example, I give this example. And then what I do is I go, what this membership that I'm showing you is designed to do. And forgive me, guys, I got to go back. Sorry. Right? Sorry, I got super excited. Right. And when I first go here and I go to the booking portal, I go, I'm going to show you a membership called Club Seacret. And this membership has some of the most incredible things in the world, right, to save you money. This membership will give you the best experience. So I talk a little bit about the membership first, then I go into the booking portal, right? And so as I get to here, right, and I go, and I'm constantly talking about this Club Seacret membership, this Club Seacret membership, this Club Seacret membership. Then I get to here and I go, as I told you before, not only is this membership going to give you access to some of the most incredible things in the world, it's designed, listen to the word, it's designed to save you over $4,000 a year. It's designed to save you over $4,000 a year in all of these different categories. And these offers are in over 75 countries. So let me show you some. That's a transition. So let me show you some before I go to the next slide. Right? So it's designed to save you over $4,000 a year. It's offered over 75 countries. So let me show you some. Maybe you've heard of some of these, right? Here's some examples. DoorDash, right? Postmates, movie theaters, Disney, Cinemark. And then I'll tell my own, I was just in Minnesota and I went to the Mall of America And inside of the Mall of America, there is a theme park, like literally with like roller coasters and everything inside. And four all-day passes inside of the Mall of America were somewhere in the neck of the woods of $180 to $90 for four. It was like over $190. Because of Club Seacret and our daily deals, I paid $143 for it. So it saved me 1 month's membership in 1 day of activities, not including the movies I took my daughters to. Ooh, we were going to a theme park called Valley Fair. And I give a couple examples. What you have to find is your examples. If you haven't saved money on Club Seacret yet, it just means that you haven't looked. Or you've been sitting locked up in your house. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just letting y'all know, even if you're locked up in your house, you need food delivered or something, right? So DoorDash, Postmates, use it, save money, take a picture of it, right? And then I go, also included in this membership is access to doctors through your computer or your phone. Just imagine. So now what am I doing? Just imagine. I'm getting them to what? Imagine. Just imagine, with everything that's gone on in the world, if something happens to somebody in your family that you care about, instead of having to go to urgent care and wait in line and be around other sick people, just imagine having access to a doctor on your phone, and you don't have to wait in line through video or on your computer. It's telemedicine. And you don't have to pay a copay. If you get in your car and waste your gas, waste your time, go to urgent care, you will pay a copay. No wasting time, no wasting gas, no, you know what I mean? And you get people to go, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then I give an example. My friend went and used this right here. Might not went, but my friend used this right here and got, for their child that was not doing well. What happened is they had a doctor prescribe the medicine. And so instead of taking these young children to urgent care, they ended up getting the right diagnosis, getting the right medicine sent to the pharmacy close to their home. They went through drive-through. They didn't have to go in. They didn't have to be around other people. They got their medicine and they went home and took care of their young one, their child, their whatever. Use descriptive words, ladies and gentlemen. Now, from here is transition, right? And I go, all of these things are included in the membership. So let me show you this membership again. The reason you can do transitions is if you know what the next slide is. So I go, here is what's in the membership. Remember, the daily deals I just covered, the telemedicine, the discount booking portal, the escapes, the experiences, brand partner discounts, loyalty points, and you get the best product pricing. And I know you're probably thinking, what products? That's my transition. I know you're probably thinking, what products? I'm going to get to it in a second. Listen, $65 a month is designed to save you over $4,000 a year. So let me tell you something. It will cost you more money not to have Club Seacret. You have to learn when to pause. When you pause, it emphasizes the words that you just said. I'm saying it again, when you pause, it emphasizes the words you just said. So you have to learn how to add pauses. You can't pause after every word, but you've got to learn when there's certain things that need to be emphasized more, and then you pause, right? And so I sit there and get people to go, oh my gosh, what products? What products? And then I go to this next slide. I go, and there's one more thing that's phenomenal. Because you're a Club Seacret member and you paid your $65 as a customer, next month, you're going to get a $50 product credit. I know. You're thinking, what products? Don't worry, I'm going to show it to you, right? Number one, I showed you how we experience the world. Number two, let me show you how you're going to feel better. And I talk about Dr. Howard Cohn. He's trained over 50,000 patients, treated over 50,000 patients, trained over 50 doctors, and he's been a healthcare practitioner for over 30 years. And he designed a line that is organic, vegan. I go through this and I cover some of these products. And then what I do is I go, listen, when I'm right here, I'll say, when I spoke to Dr. Cohn, a lot of the doctors that he works with told him 90% of their patients always complain about the same 4 things. And if they could find the right solutions to these 4 things, they could prevent or help 90% of their patients immediately. Let me show you what those 4 things are. Number one, that was my transition from the Dr. Cohn slide to this slide. Number one is energy. Have you ever met people that need more of it? Have you ever needed more of it? Again, a minor agreement. It's asking the right questions or assuming the right answer. And I go, we have 2 products that help with it. This greens product that tastes amazing. You hear my descriptive words. 22 raw vegetables, right? And I go into this, or I talk about our organic clean energy, where it doesn't give you a spike and a crash. It gives you sustained energy. I use my hands. Ladies and gentlemen, I use my hands to create a visual on certain things, right? If you're watching my hand right now, I go, it doesn't give you a spike and a crash. And people go, oh my gosh, I've been through that before. It gives you sustained energy. Visually, their brain goes, oh my God, that's what I need. Sleep. Have you ever met people that aren't sleeping right or need better sleep? Right? That's when your body reboots, like turning off your phone when it glitches. You turn it off and then on to reboot it. The word reboot, ladies and gentlemen, gets people to visually understand what this product does. And I talk about boosters. I say it doesn't put you to sleep, but while you're sleeping, it helps your body get into the state of alkalinity. Right? And then I go to discomfort. Don't ever use the word pain. Right? Don't ever use that. Don't ever make any medical claims with this product. Now, we're going to add the chewable, don't worry. Right? And then we go to weight, and I talk about this, and then I go into health made simple, and I talk about weight loss being simple as 1, 2, 3, right? And boom, feel good. And I go, now that you are feeling better, because what goes inside your body is so important. But how do you look better? Your skin is your largest organ. This is my transition. Your skin is your largest organ. So you want to treat it with care. You want to take care of it. So let me show you how we do that. We'll help you look better. We started our whole skincare line, as you heard at the very beginning, through the Dead Sea. And I talk about a couple of these items. And then I talk about how from Cleopatra, and I go into actors, actresses, but they have the money. I said, what we wanted to do was bring these products to the world. We're created by nature, tested by science, and we believe because of people's stories, we're proven by the people that use this product, by you. Number 1 in the world is soap. How many of you use soap or some sort of cleaner in the shower? And if you don't, please don't raise your hand, right? Like, I'll make different jokes. But when I'm getting people to go, oh my gosh, soap, it's something so simple, right? Now I go into the 5 wows. Now, the reason why in a live presentation, I do the demo. Sometimes on my Zooms, I do the demo, depending on how much time I have. But I for sure show 2 videos that do the demo. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Why do I like the demo? I like the demo because psychologically, it makes people go, wow. And the minute they go, wow, and I go, listen, I said, you see how good this is? You see the results? I said, our nutrition is just as good, if not better than this. Do you see our lifestyle program? I wish that I could blink you to a vacation right now and then blink you back, but I can't. What I can do is show you our skincare with results immediately, right? And people then, I'm leading their brain in a place where they're going, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, right? And so now I'm here and I show them this one. And what I do is I go, listen, I go, most masks you remove with water, not this one. Look, she's removing it with a magnet. I go, and this right here, we provide the magnet for you. Look at this. That's a magnet. It's pulling. Look at my face. Look at my hands, everybody. Look at my video. I do this. It's pulling all the dirt and toxins. That's a visual to psychologically make them go, oh my gosh, right? And then I show this one, right? It's the peeling gel. I go, what it does is that it removes the dead skin. And watch in 5, 4, 3, 2, ew. That's what I always say. And people laugh and they go, oh my gosh. I go, why am I showing you a tattoo? Because somebody put it on their tattoo. It removed the dead skin. Their tattoo looked brand new, right? I just want you guys to know. And then I go, there's other, right, product lines that we have. That's my transition. And I show the 3 major product lines. And then we have a men's line. This is a friend of mine that had challenges, used our products, had some great results. This is another mask that we have. I'm trying to show you some before and after pictures, right? This is the lady that had puffiness under her eyes. This is where I go, have you ever met people that had dark circles? And I talk about it before I show the slide and I go, look what happened to my friend that had dark circles. We helped him, bam! And I do that and everybody goes, oh my, and they laugh and they chuckle and I go, hey, we don't test on animals. This is just a joke, ha, ha, ha. But I'm showing you some quick results. Now let me show you some long-term results. This is 5 years, this is 7 years. Psychologically, I'm putting in their mind that don't just use this product for a week or a month. Use it for years. It's what I'm doing. I'm psychologically getting their brain ready. And I go, we just showed you how to look better. Now let me show you how we earn an income. To register with us, it's $49. But you're going to want some product because you're going to want to do the demonstrations that I just did. And you're going to want to sample some. And you're going to probably sell some. But now I started with lifestyle. I went to nutrition. I went to skincare. Products are fresh in their brain. Now there's a reason why we buy the products. There's a preview package, a pro power package, and a pro package, which is our professional package. But look, and I point out the fact that they get more product than what they spend. And I go, remember the $65 membership? That drops down to $50 now. And by the way, your first month is free. So you can save money on all the things I showed you, even gas, But on top of the products, you'll get a getaway. Your first option is a cruise. Let me tell you what a cruise is. And then I go into this. And then I go, what your second option is, this is my transition before I go to the next slide, is resorts. Let me show you resorts. And then I talk a little bit about this, right? Your third option, right? And I go into the, EU hotel stay. Now, I go in the small package, our preview package, you get to choose one of those 3. Same thing with our middle package, but in the professional package, you get all 3 vacations. Did you hear my pause? In the professional package, you get all 3 vacations. Unbelievable, amazing, right? So let me show you how we earn an income. We have people that become a customer. When they use our products, you earn between 20 and 30%. When they become a Club Secret member, bam. Now, before I go here, my transition is I'll sit there and say, now, you're going to have people that are going to want to do this business. They're going to want to earn an income. They're going to want that vacation. They're going to want these products. How many people do you know that would love a $2,000 vacation plus $500 in product, plus the ability to earn an income, plus a membership that saves them $4,000 a year, all wrapped up in one incredible business? How many people do you know? 5, 10? Most people tell me, oh my God, Muzafer, everybody. I go, listen, what if you just introduce one and they do the small package, you make $40. If you introduce 4, you would make 160. That makes sense, right? 4 times 40. But right now, we double it for you. So instead of making 160, you're going to make $320 for introducing 4 people that are going to get a business, a vacation, phenomenal products, and the ability to save $4,000 a year. What if you introduce 6, 12? Could you use an extra $1,000 this month? And most people go yes in their mind. They may not say it to you, but they say yes. What if you do the professional package? It's the package I did. You can't say that if you didn't do it. I can say it. It's the package that I did. If I introduce one person that does what I did, I make $200. If I introduce 4, normally it's $800, but right now it's $1,600. What if I introduce 6 or 12? Could you use an extra $5,000 this month? I just want you to understand that for me, I think everybody would do this business. And what we do is we build 2 teams. So when I introduce people, they either go on my left team or they go on my right team. So for the example that I gave you of introducing 6 people, 4 would go on one side, 2 would go on the other, and this gives you a team commission. We call it a cycle. I want you to remember that word cycle. This is a bonus that you get for cycling. What happens is as your team gets larger and larger, you cycle more and more. Now, you can't cycle forever. So there's a maximum, which is $25,000 a week in income. I know for some of you, you go, that's it? Listen, and I hope you're joking, because if you can't live off of $25,000 a week, we need to have another conversation. It's called an intervention. People laugh. And I go, but let me show you how it works. If you have one cycle, as I showed you, it's $45. 2 cycles normally is $90 plus $100 bonus. So you're making $190 a week. If we can teach you how to cycle just 2 times a week, by the end of 4 weeks, it's an additional $760. I know you don't know what that is yet, but the bigger your team grows, the more your business cycles. And I promise we will teach it to you. What I want you to understand is the more your team cycles, the more bonuses you make. Our goal is to help people cycle between 2 and 6 times immediately. Now, yes, you can cycle more than that, because remember, the most you can earn is $25,000 a week. Right now, I'm just showing you $770 a week, which is an extra $3,000 a month. Could you use an extra $3,000 a month? Right? When you help other people cycle, basically build a team, you earn a matching bonus from their check. And it goes to 4 generations. Let me just show you one. Here's an example. Help someone earn $1,000. You get a 20% match. It's an additional $200, right? These are some people's income. Some people make more, some people make less. I'm not guaranteeing you this income, not at all. There are people that I know that make less than this at the rate that they're at, and there are people that I know that make more than this. Right now, usually here's where I go through stories. Testimonials are right here, right? Right here is where I have testimonials, right? Then I go into training and I talk about training. This is still the one that has boot camp. We're going to switch it to the view. Don't worry. But I talk about training, how important training is, right? Then I go into timing, and now I'm going into the close. Right? And people are more motivated by what they have to lose versus what they have to gain. And so I show them this. right? Missing out because you waited. And then I show them, if you don't wait, what happens? And then we talk about getting started. Become an agent, pick your pack, pick your trip. And I tell them, listen, you can be an A, B, or C, and I'm going into the close. And then I go back to the good life, right? And so this is when the presentation is done. If you're not confident enough to do the close, you get your person, if you're doing a one-on-one, on a three-way with your upline, somewhere in your upline. They'll help you with the close. This is the moment where we were on stage at boot camp and they asked, what do you do when a presentation is done? And I say, I do assumption of, like, I'll say, that was incredible, wasn't it? That was fantastic, wasn't it? That was phenomenal, wasn't it? And most people are a notch down. Most people, yeah, it was pretty good. And then I go, what part of the presentation interested you the most? And now I'm going to take them in the direction. I love the products, great. I love the trips, great. I love that membership, man. That can save me on gas. That can save me $4,000 a year, man. That's dope. And I go, great. Do you want the membership as a customer, where you just use our membership and our products? Or do you want the membership and earn an income together with me? What works better for you? Now, man, I want to make money too. I was just, yeah, I want to do both. Great. Where do you see yourself getting started? With the preview, the power, or the pro like I did? What works better for you? The point right now is, ladies and gentlemen, is we can do a different call at a different time, focusing on the close. This is focusing on the presentation. That's what this focus was, is how to present, the psychology of a presentation. Get that slide and practice. Get that slide and I agree with you, Jay. This should have had over 1,000 folks on it, right? Because it's what we need. We need 1,000 people out there doing this presentation. Present, 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 present. Write this down. It's not about being married to the result. It's about being married to the journey in the activity. I said this earlier on a call today. If you're married to the activity of doing a presentation, if you get high on doing presentations, please, I don't mean drugs. I'm using it as an analogy. I'm saying if you fall in love, maybe that's a better language. If you fall in love with doing the presentation over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, the result will come. The result will come, I promise you. So I hope that this has helped you. I hope it added value to your life. I'm so proud of all of y'all for being on. You know, it's tomorrow night, I'm going to do the presentation. Right. So I don't know, Henna, did you add the flyer in here on the chat? I was going, so I didn't see it.
So I'm not able to add a photo, but I added the link information.
Perfect.
Here, but I'll add it to your Instagram account. So if you guys